This is Hunt Nebraska, the official podcast for insight into Nebraska's hunting and shooting sports community. Be sure to give us a follow on Facebook, our space for sharing stories, information, tips, and techniques. Now, Hunt Nebraska.
Welcome into the Hunt Nebraska podcast here today. We have a very full cabin here for the first time in, I feel like, a couple months because everybody in here has been traveling, it seems like, every week. Mm-hmm. Have it always been the same state for a full week for the last 2 months, I wonder?
Doesn't feel like it.
Nope. So, which means we're staying busy, getting a lot done, but also nice to actually see each other's faces again.
We haven't seen each other, so we assume we're getting stuff done. That's an assumption,
True.
Kyle. That's an assumption, yeah.
For all intents and purposes, we are getting stuff done. Well, let's do some introductions. I'm Kyle Gaston, the Hunter Education Coordinator. We got Megan Price, our Hunting and Shooting Outreach Coordinator. We have Shelby Eisensee. Did I pronounce it right? I'm so working on it. I need to see you more often so I can practice saying it more. With the National Wild Turkey Federation. And we have Aaron Hirschberger, a.k.a. Hershy, with the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission as well. So
I was going to say you'll confuse people by using my full
I know.
name.
I said it, and I'm like, I feel like I need to say Hershy.
Well, you kind of have to. When I was judging at the National R3 Symposium, we were doing the R3 minutes, and they announced the judges. Somehow I got roped into that. Probably our good buddy Scott Lavin, who's now with the council. They announced Mandy Harling from the National Wild Turkey Federation, and this roar went across the room. And then they announced, I believe Dan Forster was one of the other judges, if I remember correctly, and there was another mighty hearty roar. And then they announced me with my full name, and there was like silence.
Crickets.
Just like they're looking. I look back and everyone's looking. It's just like, who's that? Who is that? And then finally someone said Hershy, and I got a couple of golf claps type thing, because I have learned that there are folks that don't realize I have two names, a first and a last name, as well as they never put it together. We've had our good friend Steve Hall from Texas argue with somebody that, hey, that's Aaron. No, that's Hershy. Not realizing that one's a nickname and one.
Who would name their kid Hershy as a first name?
No
offense to anyone.
You know someone's out there. You might have some angry parents right now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say I don't think we have enough time to go into weird names that parents give their kids.
See, that's my soapbox, I would say.
Names?
Names,
for kids?
The strange names.
Mine's bigger of just common spelling.
Oh, the spelling?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, if you can't give them a weird name, you might as well spell it strange. Different. Hard, so it's hard to pronounce. I think so.
Now?
I don't know.
It
feels like it.
I didn't follow that path. Mine's a very simple, common spelling names for my kids.
Yes, because you're a logical person, Kyle.
Oh, I'm logical. That's good to know.
So Shelby, in my defense, I think if they would have said Hershy, more people would have.
You would have gotten the roar.
I don't know that I would have gotten the Forster or Mandy type of roar.
Well, our whole NWTF R3 team was there, so
yeah, that did help. But yeah, I know.
And he just had you.
Yeah,
there.
So there was your golf clap.
Oh no, Julia.
There's some Nebraska Game and Parks people there.
Yeah,
actually, a lot more than I expected.
Yeah, good showing. So
very good. Well, outside of us doing a very busy traveling schedule around, it was also a very busy time of the year because a lot of us were trying to get out and go after some turkeys this last couple months, as it obviously concluded here end of May. And part of it, we also did a little bit of a challenge in our earlier podcast, trying to give us either a challenge or something else to do to make hunting just a little more exciting. It is always exciting. It's always fun. But we hit a couple recaps of Megan and Rachel's, who can't be in the cabin today. But we talked to those two about what they encountered and what their hunting experience was and how their challenge went. But I wanted to bring in Shelby and Hershy here because we really need to dive down deep into hearing a little bit more of how your guys' challenges went. But before we get into it, I had a question I had to ask.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Recap your turkey season in 1 to 3 words.
They get, hold on. They get 1 to 3. We got 2.
Fine, 2 words. 1 to 2. You get 1 to 2.
2 words. We gotta make it
It's-
even.
I give 3 and Shelby gives 1. That's an average.
The
is out
average?
to.
Okay.
He
Fair.
needs an extra word.
Fair. Average it out.
So,
All right, let's hear
Do I
it.
get my? Give me some thought or time to think here a little bit.
it's not like I sent you this
Do you have
question
Do you have a
before
word,
we
Shelby,
came in
already?
here.
No. You got to
Oh my
go
gosh.
first.
Rachel and I were Johnny on the spot.
And I sprung that on them. I have to
Yeah.
send you guys a few questions ahead of time to prep.
Wild West. That's
Whoa.
what mine felt
Ooh.
like.
Wild West. Oh, see, now you only get 2 words.
Uh-oh.
Took out a word.
Well, I missed this. When did you send these to us?
I also missed
last
it.
week
Last
when
week.
I re-upped the invitation to do the podcast.
I got to apologize. I must still be filtering your emails out.
It's fair enough. I was gone for a month, and the next thing I know is I haven't heard anything from him for another month.
I would say my 2 words would be surprisingly rewarding.
That's very good.
And do I get a chance to explain why?
Yes, you go
Okay.
ahead.
All right.
Dig into
Nope,
it.
that's it.
Well, and I'm going to say the surprising part was I did not see as many turkeys out and about when I was just, driving to work, home, traveling around the landscape that I normally do here in the state of Nebraska. In fact, some of the spots that I've come to just expect during that late March through early May time period of seeing turkeys, very rarely did I see turkeys. Talking to some other folks, they were kind of experiencing the same thing. They'd seen some in the fall, but they weren't really seeing much in the spring. So I was a little bit nervous about what we're going to actually see in the fall. I didn't get to do, once spring season opened up, I didn't get to do a lot of actual scouting. And a couple of reasons why for that you kind of talked about traveling and job duties and some other things that have kind of popped up. And so this year we had a nice warm start to our archery season. End of March was pretty warm and had some decent weather, a little breezy out there. And so that's kind of when I used a little bit of time. I'd say I was going archery hunting, but I oftentimes use that here in Nebraska to scout for the rest of the season because birds can be really clumped up, and it's just amazing how fast March 25th rolls around with all the activities going on with archery in the schools programs and getting ready for some of the spring events. But I really didn't get to scout, partly because when I'd go on my archery hunts, I ran into turkeys. It was just, there were times where just like, man, this is actually going to be a hunt. This is going to be more than just me listening or walking around the landscape and looking for them. Those turkeys were excited and they were callable, and I don't think I had to go very far in to my hunts. I think the second one, it was textbook. Just absolutely textbook. And then you kind of go back out and you're thinking, you only get 2 tags here in Nebraska now instead of that handy third one. And at times you're thinking, if this plays out the way it looks like it's going to play out, I'm not going to make it to shotgun season in mid-April. And so the times I went out, I've got to say, we either at least heard gobbles or we got to work birds, which on any spring turkey season, as long as our Nebraska season is, that's saying something.
Yeah, that's great. Even, like I said, there's enough times I've went out in the past where it's like, oh, cool. I spent the whole day listening to squirrels run around the branches. It's nice to have a little bit of if I could just wish I could hear a gobble.
And there's times that there's hunts, and it seems like some years there's entire seasons where they gobble, but it doesn't seem like they're interested in you at all. I mean, they might give you a courtesy gobble, but they're probably gobbling to a crow or a goose flying down the river or something odd, and you're calling and just you feel like I got no chance. Mm-hmm. They're ignoring me completely. They have no idea. They're not going to play the game. They're not going to give me the experience I want, much less of are they going to just do what I want them to do, period. Mm-hmm. But and this year was not that way. And this year definitely seemed like there were a lot of them that are interested. They didn't all come in by any means, but at the same token, at least they act like they were excited and get that adrenaline going. So what about you? I mean, what were your 2 words?
Wild West.
Wild West.
Because that's what it felt like. I didn't get a hunt in Nebraska due to all of the travel. So next year, you will see me in the field the whole time.
Well, I think you have to. I think it should be part of the job.
That's what I'm saying. But
the partnership.
I couldn't make it happen this year, but that's what next year's for.
Yeah, a lot of transition.
It is a lot of transition because I did move. But I did get a bird in Minnesota, which was one of my challenges since I was planning to go back. And I remember the first day. So in Minnesota, it's a little different. You don't get all season, and you can't switch your tags over from archery to shotgun. You get 6 days. You get from Wednesday to the next Tuesday. So it's a very short, get her done. Otherwise, you eat your tag. And I went out when I got home for Easter. And then in the morning, there wasn't much going on. I kind of told my dad where I wanted to set up on top of this knoll in our backfield. And nothing. Went back out in the afternoon. I was just sitting there. I'm like, I'm not going to see anything. Called every once in a while, and all of a sudden this Tom is just rolling down the middle of the field. Just eating, doing his own thing. But he had a rope. That is a big Tom.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can get him to come in. So once he got to about 150 yards, I called at him and strutted up right away and was gobbling at me and was working towards me and got to about 80 yards. And then he stopped. And I was like, no. What happened? So decoy wise, I had 3 hens out surrounding me, 2 feeders and then a lookout on top of the hill. And he stopped and I was like, there's another bird. And that's what's stopping him. And sure enough, here comes a hen rolling down the middle of the field. And I was like, I'm screwed.
What is it? I mean, you got 3 hens and you're competing, or 3 decoys, 3 hen decoys.
Yeah.
And there's only 1 real decoy.
But I was not it.
Isn't that interesting how that works? It just proves, folks, that turkeys can't do math. It really does.
Yeah, no kidding. And in this whole time, because we like to record our hunts, I was trying to figure out the GoPro for the first time while trying to call.
We got to see this one, folks. You're going to want to check it out.
Yeah, so I finally got the GoPro going, and he went back to the hen, and then they started working up towards me, very slowly, but I was like, this is going to happen. I'm going to get a shot at this Tom. And for some reason, he, would not, there was a big brush pile to my right, and he would not come past that. And there was a bunch of tall grass in front of me. You'll see that in the video if you ever see part of the video. But the hen was coming right at my decoy. She kind of swung around a little, and I was calling, and he was gobbling and strutting, and I could somewhat see his silhouette, but couldn't see him through the tall grass. And then this hen started calling at me. And so my goal was to make her mad. Mm-hmm. And I did that. I did great. Made her really mad. She went all the way up to my decoy, and I was like, okay, this Tom only needs to come 5 more steps, not even, for me to shoot him in this small window I had. And all of a sudden, I look over at the hen, and she's at the decoy, and it was about 20-mile-an-hour winds that day. Spun my decoy, and she took off. She was not happy. And then they went behind the big brush pile where I was, and he went with her. And so I was like, I'll get him on the backside. And then as I was playing with them, and he was somewhat slowly working towards me, still strutting and gobbling behind me, here comes out 3 more Toms coming down the field. And as they come down the field, I have them gobbling. There's 2 that are right next to each other, coming right to my hen decoy on top. So I got the 1 Tom and hen behind me coming on the other side. I have these 3 coming at me. And it was just trying to get the GoPro of who's going to give me the first shot, and then what side am I supposed to focus? Who am I supposed to focus on? And the 2 Toms came up, and they were always lined up. Those 2 were best buds. You could tell.
Safety in numbers.
And they were always lined up, and the 3rd one wouldn't come all the way. And then they finally kind of came up to the decoy, and they swung back around to the Tom and the hen behind me. And I was like, all right, so now we're going to the back side of me. So here I am shifting everything to the other side. And they get up, and the one I could probably have shot, but I was not 100% confident in my shot. So I didn't do it because there was a huge limb in my way, and he was walking away from me. And I didn't want to take that shot. So I didn't.
That's good.
But this was my first day in Minnesota.
Fun day.
Yeah.
Exciting day.
Well,
Now,
when the 3 toms came up, the one tom was also going to come with them. That hen literally was attacking the toms and like corralling them away from me. It was crazy.
hens cheat. They do. That pecking order is huge, right? We talk about it, especially when it comes to gobblers. But the hens have one also, and they don't like to share. They do not like to share. And if there's something that she either probably picked up on, not so much that scared her, but just like, nope, we're not going to keep things away. But the one thing I will say, I wish we would have had a video of you watching the video of that first tom and hen come up.
So
We
bad.
don't, folks. So that's because well, kind of walk us through that, because as that played out, and you were talking about how that first gobbler kind of stopped behind this big pile of tall grass and stuff like that. As you were watching that video, we heard some Minnesota words.
Which Minnesota words?
Well, ones we can't repeat here on Hunt Nebraska by any means. Megan.
Yeah, so I knew he was coming up this path we have, and he was strutting on it, and I knew the shot I had, the way he was coming, it was going to be like a 5-yard shot. It was going to be he was right on me type of problem.
Yeah.
And where he stopped, it was probably 10 yards. Not even, but I was in a blind.
Couldn't see him.
Yeah, so I was in a
couldn't see him.
blind, and I could see the top of his fan, but not his body.
Yeah.
And of course, when we watched the lovely footage, because I put the GoPro on the outside edge of the blind, the tom, you can see him clear as day.
Just right there.
Like, all I had to do was lean over 3 feet, and I could have had a shot at this tom. And I'm sure my face, I was just stunned that all I had to do was lean over.
That's the fun of turkey hunting in specific, but hunting in general as well. Now, this time, can you hear him spitting and drumming and doing all that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so then it ended up being super quiet. Like, I didn't see another bird the next 2 days.
Really?
Didn't hear much. Nothing was talking. It was dead silent.
That
So I
hen
had
really
this.
scared it, kept them away, huh?
Oh my gosh. It was just, I don't know what happened, but they wanted nothing. So then it was going to rain on that Monday. And I was like, okay, I want to sit out. I sat out in the morning, nothing. Not a sound. Nowhere. And I was like, there's this big storm coming in. I want to sit at the beginning of that storm. I promise it wasn't lightning, so shotgun
You're
lightning.
safe.
Yeah, I promise. And my dad went with me because I was on my own when I did that part. And we had a hen come in. We actually moved back farther where they have been like doing their pattern of like feeding in the field and walking it. And so we had a blind back there, and we were sitting there, and this hen came in. My dad, he was using my call to like try it out, and I was like, oh, it's just a hen. Called it all the way into our decoys, because we did a Jake half strutter over a breeding hen with a lookout hen next to our blind. And she came all the way in, and of course I was trying to play with the stupid GoPro again. And she kind of saw it, so then she kind of went away. And I told my dad, I was like, if a tom comes in and I don't have this GoPro figured out, sorry, but footage is gonna lack. It was raining for about an hour, and all of a sudden I like look down the field where my other blind is. 4 toms, 3 hens, all feeding in the field. And I was just like, of course they're at the other blind, because I'm not there. And so I was just sitting there watching them with my binos, because my dad and I switched spots, because I was set up for them coming from our right side and they were going to come from our left. And it was just kind of one of those things, you have to wait. They weren't responding to calls. They didn't really care. Like, the toms would look up every once in a while at a call, but I mean, it was raining. I wasn't expecting them to call. No strutting, obviously. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, I was watching through the binos. I don't know what happened between the group, but the 2 toms got kicked out. And they just took off sprinting right down the field at us. And I hit my dad's leg, and I'm like, it's game on. I was like, get ready. And we sat there, and nothing. The birds, I was like, where'd the birds go? It's not that far. It's like 80 yards. What happened? And we have enough of a dip or steepness in our field that they went down there and you couldn't see them, and they popped up on our right side on top of the knoll of the next, like our next field. And I was just like, oh, what are we going to do? And they were still booking it. I don't know what scared them or who really got on their case, but they wanted to get the heck out of Dodge. And all of a sudden, you know how we always talked about turkey calling and how people are scared of using putts?
Yeah.
That's what turned those turkeys around for us.
Oh.
My dad, because we tried to do yelps, I tried to mouth call, different mouth calls, nothing. And he started doing putts, just like feeding, and they calmed down, turned around, and came right at us.
Nice.
And it was to the point, so I don't know how we got away with this. My dad and I switched spots while they were still feeding, coming at us, because I didn't have the angle to see them. And so we switched spots in the blind, and then once they were like in range, I asked my dad, I was like, are we good? Totally didn't even think about the GoPro at this point. Probably could have gotten the GoPro set up. And he's like, oh, I can't see him, like, pick the closest bird. And I did. And so then I shot, and the bird dropped. And my dad's like, shoot it again, because he thought I was going for the left bird.
Oh, boy.
But then I shot, and then he was really dead. But can confirm he didn't go anywhere. There is a lovely picture, which I have been told I should have let my Tom dry out and then taken a picture with him, but nope, my bird, wet as a dog. And I took a picture like that just for the memory.
So did you beat the storm?
Oh, no, it was in the middle of the storm.
It was in the middle of the
said
storm.
it was about an hour of
Middle
rain
of
there
the
before
storm.
that broke up.
Oh, boy.
Sometimes you
Dedication.
just got to do it in the storm.
Wow.
And I had my little fake beard on, so that was my challenge.
That was the
fake-
challenge,
That was.
Fake
right?
beard. So we kind of didn't go get me the beard that we talked about getting me. So in my head, I was like, oh, we have like a 12-inch beard back at home in our freezer that we haven't done anything with from a turkey in the past. And so on my shirt thing, I have the face mask built in, so we zip tied it so it could stick right out from my chin. There is a picture of that as well.
We've got to see that. That's, yep. Might need that here, edit that into our video.
Yes, there we go. We'll talk to the editor about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, felt like the Wild West.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of fun, though. I mean, kind of the interesting part of turkey hunting, big game hunting, is you dream about this. All right, this is going to be so much fun. Oh, I'm going to have time to do this and try that. And I just want to get out there. I just can't wait to go. And when you get out there, you finally, all right, I got a tag in my pocket. I want this to happen now. Let's end this. Because what happens after you shoot one, you might be done.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of that, well, this is what I love to do. Does it need to end fast enough? However, you do kind of want to have that whole experience and all that. So you got a few days extra in. So maybe it was a good you didn't see how close that Tom or how clear that first one by the clump of grass was after.
If you ever talk to my dad, you'll know I stressed the next 2 days of I didn't see a thing and I had the chance and I didn't take it.
Isn't that turkey hunting? If they don't gobble, it's like they're not there.
Right.
You just kind of convince yourself they've moved on,
Yeah.
they're spooked. It's amazing how some of them just go quiet. But even on the same hunt, right? There's times where they're talking, all right, this is great, that's great, and then they go quiet. And just like, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
They must have disappeared. Turkeys sometimes go quieter. They make noises we just don't hear at all. They're up close. They're just as visual as they are auditory. So
Yeah.
Which is funny because deer don't make noise, and you can sit there and not hear the deer and be totally content.
Wouldn't it be cool that every morning just before sunrise through like the first hour of the day,
The deer would gobble?
all the bucks would grunt? They'd have to
grunt,
sit there and
yeah.
grunt the whole morning. Wouldn't that be kind of
That'd
cool?
be helpful.
It
I
would
think
be,
you'd
yeah.
be shocked, like, oh, there's grunting over there. Oh, that sounds like a spike. Oh, that one's nice and deep. Here we go. Yeah, let's go. I think that adds to it because you're going for that experience.
It definitely
Yeah.
adds to it, but I always think it's interesting, like you were saying, like you don't hear it, then it's like, it's bad. Then it's bad hunting. Whereas like deer,
convince yourself of it.
you could be dead silent for a couple hours and you're still like fully committed. You're in it. It's still a good hunt. Potentially.
Take a nap in there, but yeah.
Sunrise. Yeah, take a nap. Like, it could still be a
Take
good
a nap
hunt.
in there. Depends on how good the app is that you're either reading or playing or
Yeah.
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 If your
But it
phone's
is. It's
dead or
different
not.
expectations.
Yeah, if you have service, I don't know. It depends. Yeah.
Oh, no service sucks.
It can be rough. It can be rough.
Like,
If you're
sometimes
not
your
prepared-
games don't even
Yeah.
play. So then you have
Yeah.
to sit there and listen to the squirrels or whatever.
You actually have to enjoy the nature, is what you're
No,
saying.
okay, please tell me what deer hunter enjoys squirrels.
Yeah.
Please tell me if you're out there, let me know.
And the bear hunting equivalent is the crows that you get to listen to.
For what?
The crows.
Crows for bear hunting?
Yeah, because they squawk the whole time.
It's all subjective because in the fall, when I hear a goose honk, it's like, oh yeah, where is that goose? But in the spring, it's just like, would that thing shut up? I mean, it's ruining the hunt. It's because two different things, two different objectives. And I agree with you. I think that as a bow hunter, a squirrel's okay, but when you say plural, then it's all of a sudden it's just
Multiple.
Yeah, it's just here and there, and it's amazing how quiet a mature whitetail can be compared to a fox squirrel. I mean, it's just like, oh, where'd you come from? It's a 200-pound land mammal right there, where you can hear the squirrel 2 ridges over jumping out of that walnut tree onto the dry leaves. So,
So next question goes to you, Hershey.
oh,
You had the challenge of yelling 4
Yeah.
before shooting.
Is there footage of this?
So
I think I've seen some footage of a hunter yelling 4 at a turkey.
So remember what Shelby was saying as far as issues with the GoPros and the cameras. So I had a really bad string of luck. The first time that I went out, I wasn't expecting a whole bunch, and so I didn't have any camera with me. Had an amazing time. Turkey decoys, I learned on that very first hunt that I went on, don't take a Jake decoy. My goodness. And I don't know, folks, chime in down below. Did you see a lot of Jakes this spring? Here in Nebraska, every place I was, a bunch of Jakes. And I think that the use of my Jake decoy kind of made all the other turkeys realize, no, I don't want to mess with those. The Toms, other Jakes, what have you. So pretty quickly I learned, got to pull the Jake. So on the second hunt, wasn't expecting much either. It was a windy morning. Had heard a lot of gobbles, had some close encounters with Jakes the day before, but I just, went to a different, it was same area, different spot, just kind of approached it a little bit differently. And I didn't expect anything to happen. And lo and behold, turkeys don't play by the rules. It got a little exciting, and I realized I got nothing. I got no camera. There's one up in the truck, but I didn't grab it because archery hunting, it seems like I take more stuff just so because I'm not going to be as mobile. I'm not going to be running and gunning as much, so I got to have some things to make me comfortable and keep me there for a while. And then other times when I grabbed the GoPro, I took it all the way out to a spot early on when my wife and I might have been opening day of shotgun season. We went out in the dark and I had it. I made sure I had it, got it out there, found a perfect spot to set out because I like to set it out by the decoy so you can see, like you said, a little bit more than I can, but a different perspective and all. Turn it on and it powers off right away.
Uh-oh.
And it just like, oh, wait a second. And so I get it all, start setting it up again. And folks, we are out there. My wife and I like getting out well before the turkeys ever wake up. We are out there a good hour and a half before shooting hours, something like that. And I'm starting to fiddle with this. Turkeys start gobbling.
Oh my gosh.
It's pitch dark and it's just like, whoa. And of course you go into panic mode because it's just like these turkeys like 60 yards away gobbling a tree. They're, and I don't know what they think when they see someone fumbling with a GoPro in the field, but I don't like to take that chance. But I think 2 times, I think I'm having battery issues, folks. I'd get out there and the battery would be dead. It wouldn't start. It wouldn't do anything. So I don't have very good video. What I did have, I had to take on my phone, but I do have some video of turkey reactions to my challenge.
Yes.
I don't have any harvest on film because of the GoPro issue. It's hard to film yourself with a camera and pull a bow back. I haven't figured that one out yet. But yeah.
Can we attach it to the bow? Because I want to
you probably could if you
yeah.
had the right. There's attachments. I know there are.
there
Like
is.
on
You
the
know
stabilizer.
what we need to do? We need to bring others with us.
Yeah, you need a camera
There you
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see why self-filming,
2026 will be
self
better.
videos are tricky. But yeah, I've got some footage that'll be fun to show.
Yeah, because
will.
the turkey you're yelling for at didn't really seem to.
Well, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. No one's
You
gonna
know
watch
what?
the
We
video.
could cut that part out.
If not,
It's kind of hysterical how much it doesn't care, though. And the video is really the only way to.
and
tell.
I'm glad I grabbed that one because I have yelled at turkeys before. My daughter's yelled
Out of anger or out of just
out of fun. So back in the day when I first started turkey hunting, we learned to call using a cassette tape. We put it in, and they would tell you how to try to yelp on a mouth call, and they'd make noise, you'd make noise, you tried to match it up. And then you flipped it to the other side, and it would walk you through the hunt. Now, it was one of those textbook hunts where the turkey up into the tree. I'm just going to be soft. And, of course, every time that person called, they'd put a gobble in there. It was all in editing because they were trying to sell their turkey calls, right? So that helped. And then it went from there to we'd rent VHS tapes to watch turkey hunts. And then we would, buy them a little bit later. They became a little bit more available, and I learned some from the old time hunters, especially I believe it was a guy by the last name Carlton that hunted out west about noises that turkeys pick up on and what they don't. But also I learned quite a bit from my son and daughter because my daughter, we threw her in the turkey blind at age 2, and my son was probably just about 4 years of age. And they didn't yet learn how to be quiet when they were done turkey hunting and the donuts ran out and they were done playing with whatever toys they brought. So I had a little experience with that type of stuff, but it is kind of fun. Turkeys are spooky critters, but do they know what the human voice is, and do they see that as danger? Be the one question I would toss out there.
Do research. Someone needs to pick it up.
Yeah, I think so.
Another question: do they know golf terminology by yelling for?
Do they? Yeah.
What if you had a bunch of golf balls out in your decoys and then you did the hunt?
Or
Your
what if your
challenge.
hunt's right next to a golf course?
Or right next to a golf course. Now, I've deer hunted a golf course. I don't think I've ever turkey hunted a golf course. That's a good question.
I've goose hunted a golf course, but I haven't done any other hunting.
I've been chased away from a golf ball by a goose. Have you ever done that? Where I grew up, we had very territorial geese on the golf courses.
At university I went to, it had 2 geese that were resident geese there that would chase the students and faculty around anybody that got too close to their pond. Yes, they are.
Oh boy,
they like to protect their territory.
Yeah, they're good at it.
They're
good at it. And we got a lot of goslings running around now. Have you guys seen a bunch of goslings? Just all of a sudden recently. We saw some when we were doing, I can't remember what meeting we were or travel we were doing.
We were in
Fort Kearney.
We were in Kearney.
Yeah, Kearney.
We were the expo.
I think it was for the Outdoor Discovery
out.
Program.
Yeah.
That's right. And we saw some.
Yeah.
That was like the first ones I saw, and then I went a long time with hardly seen any. Now it's just like everywhere. In fact,
And there was
I know
two
where
different ages of goslings, if I
huge
remember
difference.
right.
That's right. There were some fuzz balls, and then there were some that were
teenagers.
I know. We'll find out. A lot of our biologists right now, folks, are out banding geese as we speak. So it'll be interesting to see what type of hatch we had there, which can help because I know in the years where the hatch doesn't go real well, now you got older geese that you're hunting, and those older geese seem to know the
smarter.
Yeah, let's swing one more time, flock. Let's just see. See if we can read Bigfoot on the side of that decoy or not. So, good stuff.
All right. Well, I think that's going to help bring us to a wrap. Hopefully, you guys have all been paying attention to and signed up for our big game applications. They should be released out by the time this is podcast is posted. So hopefully, you were able to get to draw a couple of different tags.
Did you guys put in for anything?
No.
I did.
Shelby?
I've been gone. Did I miss something?
You can do it from anywhere, including like Minnesota.
You didn't leave your phone behind. I know that.
No.
Yeah, we just heard what you thought about no Wi-Fi.
I can go. Hey, I'm going to Canada for a week and a half. Can promise no Wi-Fi.
Oh,
and I'm going to enjoy it.
No, it is kind of nice realizing I can't do anything on. Well,
Hey,
I can't. People can't get a hold of me.
See, I'm okay with the no Wi-Fi thing. So, you guys have like the squirrels that are super annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on my turkey hunt, I got to listen to a rough grouse drum the whole time. A little cooler.
There you go.
Less annoying.
Now next year, one of our turkey hunting challenges should be for some of us go turkey hunting more, but also.
Was that at me or?
I think that's to the person who maybe. Just to let you know, I did complete my challenge. I did not use any decoys during my turkey hunting this year.
Oh my gosh! Can we add a new challenge?
What's that?
I think someone needs to wear a bright pink tutu.
Bright pink. Can they be in a blind?
No,
I hope we,
no blind.
I hope we forget that one.
On public land too.
Can Hershey
On
get that
public
one?
land to see how
Yes,
the
on
reaction.
public
So-
land.
But back to the grouse. See,
Yeah.
this last
Hershey's
spring,
like, I don't
we're
want that.
changing the subject quick. This last spring, rough grouse.
Yeah.
Next spring, you should go out and see if you can hear prairie chickens.
Yes, I have not gotten to do that
Because that's
yet.
one of
It
the
is
cool
on my
things that
bucket.
I experienced some of my first seasons here in Nebraska turkey hunting was listen to the prairie chickens or the sharptails dance on their legs.
I really want to see that, and then I also want to hear a bobwhite. I have not gotten to hear a bobwhite quail yet.
Oh.
We'll get you figured
You can
out
hear
this
them in my
fall.
backyard, usually every night.
Megan's
you
like,
really?
no biggie.
Yeah, there's a field that's like, I don't know, a couple
gotta
hundred
say-
yards from us, so we can hear them.
Now you mention it, I don't think I heard many bobwhites this spring turkey season. So
tell me that.
interesting. That doesn't mean anything because I'd hear a bunch of them and never see them in the fall anyway. So they're there.
There's
Yeah.
quite a
She's
few of
fine.
them last year. So
Side
there.
note, too, if anyone has their trail cams out, be looking for little ones. We just had a bunch of poults on ours with
Oh,
a
that-
hen turkey, and I was
awesome.
like,
Nice.
yay, success.
Yeah,
Success.
that's pretty cool.
You're doing great.
So I put in for my pronghorn permit,
Okay.
very good.
and I don't think I'll draw, but maybe
Wow,
my
no
wife will.
confidence.
Yeah.
Well, I did it strategically because I think Leslie's going to draw this year. Instead of both of us having to go out and the pressure of both of us trying to fill a tag, maybe this year she goes.
The next
We learn some stuff, and then next year we put what we learned to
use for
use
you.
for
Oh,
you.
I see. It's
Yeah.
strategic.
strategic.
Who goes first? I got you.
Well,
You know, ladies
she's
first.
lucky. She's lucky. We'll be watching a group of pronghorn because it's muzzleloader season when we go on the ruts on for them, which is really cool to see. And they're very not really territorial, but they don't like interlopers at all. And with her, we'll probably see one out there about a mile and a half, just like, oh my goodness, that's way too far. That's way too far. And then it'll see us and it'll run half the way and then walk the rest of the way and probably turn broadside for it 50 yards. And
Perfect. Yeah.
and we'll have to figure out where to go for brunch.
Wow.
We'll find
It's
out.
not a bad problem to have, though.
No, I won't complain about it.
Yeah, I'm
won't
just a
complain about it.
little bit of jealousy maybe, but you won't
Yeah,
complain.
exactly. I should have drawn this year. But anyway,
So very good. Well, like I said, make sure to pay attention to see what you maybe drew for your big game application draw period there. So hopefully, and let us know again while your turkey season was. Try to use 2 words or less if you're good enough to use 1 word down
Cut
below.
'em
So
off.
I know.
We got 1 to 3. You only get 2.
Only
No.
2.
I got in trouble by Megan here for trying to increase it to 3. So I'll let Megan keep
the
me in
word
check
police
too.
over there.
He was going to give us a 1.
I said 1
That's
word
too
at
hard.
first,
and I
then-
told him we needed 2.
Yeah.
And then he goes to you guys. He's like 1 to 3. I mean, really?
I know. You and Rachel, though, get kind
And
of
you guys were
long-winded.
successful, so I felt like you could get it down to 1 or 2.
Well,
I don't know.
well, we're getting off on plenty of tangents now, so we should probably wrap
Yeah.
it up. So
Yes.
thank you,
Yes.
everybody, for listening in. Make sure to like and subscribe. And remember, we'll see you outdoors.
Hunt Nebraska, brought to you by your Nebraska Game and Parks Commission.